Hi guys, I'm Rachel Fuerschbach, reporting for Griffin TV. On Friday, April 12th, director Fred King Keller visited Canisius College. I got a chance to sit down with him to find out what students must do in order to make it in Hollywood, and how they can make the most of their college experience.
College is what you make of it, unless you're happening to try to make it in a profession, such as a doctor, an attorney, etc. If you're attempting to make it in the arts, then you must make college work for you. For me, it was more important, since I'm a director, that I have stories to tell, and that's why I was a literature major. I was an English major. I also had a minor in Asian studies. I was interested in different cultures, and use it as best you can to further your interests. If you're an actor, act in the plays, you know. If you're a filmmaker, use the resources of the college to make films. Don't sit around and talk, do it.
Fred King Keller shares with us what is the most beneficial part of a Hollywood career.
The most beneficial aspect of my job is it is a privilege to be paid for what you love to do. The truth is, I would do it for nothing, and often have, you know, because in life, most people, unfortunately, aren't able to do what they love. One, they don't know what they love, and two, they're not able to do it often enough. And I'm able to do that, so I think I'm one of the luckiest people around.
Fred King Keller shares some insight on what students pursuing a career in screenwriting, acting, or producing should do.
Write about things that you know when you're writing a personal project. Try to write things that are of interest to you. If you're trying to discover dialogue, listen carefully to the people around you, your friends and your relatives. One way that young writers try to break in, once they have established themselves or feel that their talents are, good enough to write commercially, is they find the shows they like the most and they write spec scripts for them. For actors, you have to act. You want to get as much experience as possible. You want to try also to, for while you're learning, stay within a comfort zone. Don't go to Hollywood or New York too early unless you really want to, or unless you're well financed, or unless you have people who can support you.
The most important thing for students to do is to get noticed, whether it be from an internship or acting in an off-Broadway play. Keller shares the most important key with us.
Persistence. My boss, Dick Wolf, who did this little show called Law and Order, you may have heard of it, is often asked this question, and he had a two-word answer, because he basically wanted to keep moving and not talk to everybody. But when they said, "Gee, Mr. Wolf, how can I make it in Hollywood?" he would say, "Stick around."
Fred Keller shares one last piece of advice for students trying to make it in Hollywood.
To try to make it in Hollywood and New York is only for people who must try to do it. If you're happy doing something else, do that, because you will have an easier life. But if you have to do it, I had to make movies. I was never going to be happy unless I did that. If that's what you must do, then eventually your path, if you have a couple of breaks, will take you there.
It was a privilege to meet such a successful director that was born and raised right here in Buffalo. I hope students can put his knowledge of the business to good use. I'm Rachel Fuerschbach, reporting for Griffin TV. Back to you guys in the studio.